10 tonight, Shaw Taylor chairs the law game. And then at 10:30, Chris Kelly will be turning the pages of Cinema Scrapbook. That's all much later. In the more immediate future, I should tell you that there's a soccer special on medium wave at 8. Consequently, for what we have on offer in the big band and jazz vein, you'd be well advised to retune to FM. Now, for the next hour and a half, I'll leave you in the highly capable hands of Alan Dell. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening to you, Colin. A very good evening to all of you out there. Well, let's see what goodies I've managed to find on the Dance Band Days archive shelves in answer to your cards and letters this week. I remember that last Monday I played a recording of the title tune of the film She Shall Have Music by Brian Lawrence, who starred in the picture, and his Lansdowne Orchestra, the vocal chorus by Brian himself, and a vocal trio, the Three Ginx. That was a 1936 recording, but here are those Three Ginx a good few years before that, in November 1931, with Sidney Kyte and his Piccadilly Hotel Orchestra. The trio, by the way, were three gentlemen named Ivor Robinson, Jack Joy and Eric Hanley. And the tune is from the film Congress Dancers. It is one that turns up quite regularly among the requests, on this occasion for a lady in Stoke-on-Trent. On this occasion, I'm sorry, first of all, that I couldn't play it before Christmas, but I hope you enjoy it now. And it's called Just Once for All Time. I'll get it right eventually. Sidney Kyte and his Piccadilly Hotel Orchestra and the Three Ginx. Here's a request that goes back a fair while, but it's from a listener whose name I readily recognise, so he's one of the listening faithful, Mr. Cyril Stansfield of Briarmains Road, Birstall, Batley, West Yorkshire. Sorry it's taken so long to get round to the Henry Hall BBC Dance Orchestra recording you asked for, which is called Here's to You and Love, and it's quite a jolly one from June 1935 with Dan Donovan, the vocalist.
and love. May you be true blue in love, true to all you do in love. So here's to love. Drink your fill of it, may you think no ill of it, may you know the thrill of it. So here's to love. Although you never know when love will come for you, just meet it with a friendly smile. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, it's love that makes it all worthwhile. So here's to you and love, no regrets, no blame of it. Blessed be the name of it. So here's to love.
The BBC Dance Orchestra, and Dan Donovan in June 1935, and a nice touch of Bert Reed's piano near the end. In fact, we have another record from that particular year, October 1935, this one, for another long-time faithful, John Bowrer of George Road in Warwick. I know Carroll Gibbons is your favourite, and we have one by the Savoy Hotel Orpheans in a moment, but you'll have to put up with Ambrose for one of the titles on your card, but that should be no hardship. It's Without a Word of Warning, and as you'll have gathered, you're a couple of years adrift with your dating. Jack Cooper is the vocalist, and there are glimpses of the famous Ambrose trombone team in what is, unfortunately, one of his records with only a fair quality recording, a bit of a surface on this one. Ambrose, Jack Cooper in 1935. Here's yet another faithful, at least he tells me he is, although he's not written to the programme before. So welcome to Mr. Tim Newland of Oak Tree Avenue, Palmer's Green in London, who would like to be reminded of singing in harmony with a fellow fusilier at Bognor in the 40s. Both of them were, I suppose still are, Harry Roy fans, and the choice of record, actually from June 1936, is It True What They Say About Dixie?
Is it true what they say about Dixie? Does the sun really shine all the time? Do the sweet magnolias blossom at everybody's door? Do folks keep eating possum till they can't eat no more? Is it true what they say about Swanee? Is a dream by that stream so sublime? Do they laugh? Do they love like they say in every song? If it's true, that's where I belong.
The vocalist with his own orchestra in Is It True What They Say About Dixie? The two piano team in that instance, Stanley Black and Norman Yarlett. A word now to my hospital radio friend Malcolm Powell, who is the chairman of the Queen Victoria Hospital Radio Service in East Grinstead. I looked again at your original letter, Malcolm, where you first wrote about the Two Bouquets record, about which I mentioned that I only have a damaged copy. While I sort that one out, I see that you're also a bit partial to the Carroll Gibbons Savoy Hotel Orpheans recording of They Say, with the vocal by George Melachrino. I know you realise that if I'd played this last week, I would have been exactly 50 years ago that it was recorded. Yeah, it would. January the 9th, 1939.
have no lips for a fool such as I. They say you just believe in hello and goodbye, and they say that the one I admire isn't even remotely concerned, and that I'll go on playing with fire until I have learned my heart has been burned. They say I shouldn't dream of your face in the moon. They say all of my dreams will be nightmares too soon. Let them talk, let them think what they want to. If it makes them feel happy that way, I know I'll always love you, no matter what they say.
Carroll Gibbons and the Savoy Hotel Orpheans with George Melachrino and They Say. Just before I get around to the next request, may I mention again that, as you can imagine, I receive dozens of cards and letters asking for all sorts of records, but they are not necessarily able to be found. Well, you might expect that if it's an old record from the 1920s, but quite often much later records are no longer available. Perhaps all the copies in our library have been broken at some time. And that would appear to be the case with a repeated request from Bob Roberts of Burnside, Rutherglen in Glasgow. He would like the Ambrose record of the Lambeth Walk with a vocal by Eddie Cantor. Yes, it was done over here. Well, that's surely one I would have played long before now if I'd had a copy. And there are other examples. So if you've written several times and had no luck, well, then you must assume that the 78 is not available to me. Also, we can't go into long researches, which would entail not only a long time cross-checking facts and even longer answering the queries. You must understand that. As I've said before, I'm sorry, we no can do. There just isn't the time. Okay, on to something for Dennis Cooper and his wife Joan of Greenwich, who are Victor Silvester fans and would like to hear Gotta Be This or That. was Victor Silvester, quite late in the 40s, as a matter of fact, with, I guess, Oscar Grasso's fiddle and Poggy Pogson doing his bits on reeds. Just before the last one for this week, I had a card from John Fuller of Crescent Road, Ramsgate in Kent, who says that he's been listening to this program for 10 years or more. And he tells me that it's awakened many memories because Mr. Fuller spent much of his career in ballrooms and dance halls as both patron and manager. And he'd like to say hello to all who played or danced at his Coronation Ballroom in Ramsgate in the late 40s and 50s, especially Alan Kane, who he'd love to hear from. Alan, if you happen to be listening, I do have Mr. Fuller's address, so, get in touch through the office here and we'll give it to you. One of the bands that unfortunately didn't play at Mr. Fuller's ballroom was Ken Snakehips Johnson's Café de Paris Orchestra, and I've been asked to play their recording of Ida, which was it was the very first record that I played on the Dance Band Days on its first broadcast on August the 5th, 1973. Snakehips Johnson's West Indian Orchestra when it was at the Café de Paris in London, and of course came to a terrible end there with the bomb in the war. Vocal chorus by the boys in the band. Now, someone mentioned to me not too long ago that there was a rumour going round that one of the stars of that orchestra, clarinetist Carl Baratow, who now lives, I think I'm right in saying, in Australia, well, it's in that direction anyway, had died. But that's not true. He is, I believe, still hale and hearty. When last I heard, which was some years ago, he was still playing the Eastern Circuit, going all the way up to Hong Kong and so on. So I'm then very pleased about that. Next week, we'll be celebrating some happy things in the program prior to a convening of the Coda Club the following day. That'll be on Tuesday, January the 24th. So make a special point of tuning in for that. But I guess you always make a special point, don't you? And while we're all tuned up for 78s, I have another one to begin the next half hour.